Hello, Cancer. Welcome to April 2018. Thank you so much for being here. So, quick announcement. Quick announcement before I forget. Private readings, I'm not going to really be offering them this month. Pisces season kind of kicked my butt a little bit. I'm feeling super tired. And the Mercury retrograde in Aries, I think it's best for me to just kind of scale it back. However, I will be offering emergency readings if you feel like you really need one. If you go to my site, I'll have kind of the details of what's included there. Comprehensives, though, will still be available regardless, okay? Just like last month. A lot of big stuff happening for you as a cardinal energy. Aries and Capricorn kind of being highlighted. Mars entering into Capricorn, your house of relationships, with the Mercury retrograde in Aries. You know, Mars being the rulership of Aries, there's this kind of squaring effect that's going to happen. It's really best for you guys just stay as detached as possible. It's why I named the video Untouchable, because people are going to have a lot to say. They are projecting a lot of things likely onto you as a water sign and as a very intuitive person. It's easy for water signs to have things projected onto them. What they are projecting outwards goes so much deeper. Okay, it's not what you see on the surface. So be very careful. And I wouldn't say trustful of your intuition, but distrustful of what they're actually projecting. Because I don't want to see you get sucked down, because you've worked so hard to build up this strength, to build up like, this is who I am. And it's going to be important for you to maintain that as much as possible. You know, we do have a full moon in Libra on the 31st, which is your house of home and family. So there is going to be a lot of stuff going on there, or a lot of attention or focus. Maybe it's like a safety for you as well. You know, a lot of focus on Aries, which is your house of career. Taurus gets Venus coming back home, your house of friends and networks and social activities. You're going to be very much out there. You know, you're going to be out there, you're going to be networking, you're going to be working, you're going to be doing your partnership stuff. A lot of people are going to want a lot of things from you, so it is going to be important for you to remain protective, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and leave you with that. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you next month. Bye. Hello, Cancer. Welcome to April. So I have 6 cards out here already. I know I normally pull one at a time. I already started your reading and I was talking for like 12 minutes and I had to turn the camera off because I was pausing so much, because I was consumed by this sense of doubt. Doubt in that I was reading the cards correctly. But I didn't feel like it was fair to like reshuffle and start over. Sometimes I do that, but not now. I felt like this message was very important. I have to talk a little bit about last month. For those of you who watched, it was very much about a choice. And you chose to choose yourself. You chose to not choose between the options laid out in front of you, but rather to follow your own spiritual path, your own spiritual journey, in the recognition that it didn't really matter. There was something very illusionary about both options. But that has left you a little bit distant, I think. Detached. Which, to be honest, is probably the healthiest place for you to be right now, given the Mercury retrograde situation. Mercury retrograde in Aries will be interesting, and I'll talk about that in the intro, I'm sure. And there's this cool vibe about you, just very, I mean, this is the card of Aquarius, you know, and Aquarius is very floating, and it's very airy and a little unpredictable and unattainable. Now, those of you who are in loving connection relationships, or lovingly connected relationships, this could be a little bit of an issue. But you are on your own path. Now, the choice seems to not have left. It still seems to be very, very present, in fact. And I think that your heart and your mind are in this battle. Your heart and your mind. They're very much looking to a single person. I think in the last reading, we had the Lovers, neither the Two of Cups, and may have come out in the Comprehensive, or like the Page of Cups or something like that, if I remember correctly. So there was this choice between the two of them. This, I feel, actually correlates to the Lover's situation, and this would correlate to the Page or Two of Cups, which is here. Now, I don't see that there's like a choice of any kind, but I do feel that there might be some kind of longing toward this energy here. Now, what I originally saw when I was first laying this out was really strange, and it's something that I've never, ever, ever seen before. And it was almost as though we have the black here and the blackness of the horse. And I felt like this Devil card was like projecting an illusionary image to somewhat entice or lure you in so that it could suck you in. This offering is weirdly false. Whoever this is, they're not a bad person. I just very much question their ability to really carry through on their promises. The detachment that you have right now is like your absolute best friend. It's keeping you from sinking in. But I think that you're on a very, very slippery slope because your heart seems to be very much connected here. I don't think you'll fall. I think as the King of Swords, see, this King of Swords for some reason hit me like a punch in the face. And even if we have the Devil, a trump card, I feel like the King of Swords trumps the Devil. Like this one is winning. So you don't fall prey to this, but it is a true test of your mental power, your mind power. And it's a true testament to what you're truly capable of. And if you can resist this, likely you can really resist anything. Okay? The hardest part of this is that this is not a bad person. And they're likely a very good quality match for you. But they have the darkness here. And I think they are still kind of working out some of their own issues. And the projected, or the concept of projection, is a very dangerous concept when we're talking about romantic relationships. Because it can then be projected onto you. It's just like one stone's throw away from being projected onto you. Whatever this is, this person's mommy or daddy issues, this person's past emotional abusive relationship or physically or sexually abusive relationship, this person's past failures, the stuff that they haven't really quite dealt with. you are not responsible for fulfilling the void in their life. And they have a void. You don't. I think you worked through it. It will only be a matter of time before they, they figure it out. They'll figure it out. And maybe later this whole thing will resurface and it will be better. But they say timing is everything, and now is not the right time. If you were to tell them that, yes, they will be offended and yes, they will get hurt, not your responsibility. Okay? And I know that sounds harsh and a little bit bratty of me to be like, it's not my responsibility. But it's not. You have to honor your soul's path. You have to. And if someone doesn't understand it, again, not your responsibility, right? It's better to be with people that are more open-minded, that are on the same level of consciousness that you are, an awareness that you are, that understands the nature of their spirit, that understands the nature of the human experience, understands the nature of the devil, which presents our limitations and our restrictions and all sorts of other lovely karmic stuff, right? And you need someone that really understands that. Now, Two of Cups, I think you have something very well-founded in your life. For some of you, this is a commitment to your career. For some of you, this is a commitment to a significant other, or it's a commitment to whatever. I can't ever think of more examples. It's like love or career, whatever. There's like a million other possibilities that could be. And that should be really, I think, the focus. Okay? I feel like communication is weirdly good for you. The diplomatic King of Swords. It also wants things to be fair. I believe that all the swords, not just the card for Libra, but all the swords want things to be fair, wants things to be the best for everybody, If you do have to break someone's heart, I think that you'll do it well enough that they won't get so angry. They might get hurt, but they won't be angry at you, I know there's caring there, Queen of Cups. I know that there's an investment there. Okay? Oh, the World. And there you've earned your rite of passage into the next thing, the next phase. You have reassembled yourself with this Uranus transiting into Taurus, out of Aries, which I'm sure I'll talk about in the intro as well. Aries is the concept of self. Uranus is the concept of rebellion and fragmentation, spontaneity, unpredictability. And when you imply those concepts together, it's like, who the heck are we? Past 8 years, since 2010, November 2010, who the heck are we? And not everybody is coming out of that transit unscathed, where we've all been hit by that, but not everyone has completely reassembled themselves. You have. And you're sure, and you're strong-willed, and you have both feet on the ground. You've earned this rite of passage here. And it's time for you to cross over. It's time for you to do the new stuff. We've done the Aries-Uranus stuff, and now it's time for the Taurus-Uranus stuff. Okay? It's time for manifestation. It's time for... Because, to be honest, if you go into this transit with not a great deal of self-love and self-worth, it's going to be kind of brutal. It's going to be brutal. I don't think that person's there yet. And again, not your responsibility. You can love them, you can care about them, you can send them good vibes, whatever you got to do, but you also have to protect yourself too, okay? Now, for those of you who are cross-watching and you're like, hey, I'm not like that, well, they might have someone else in their life that is, okay? And please know that they still care about you. For those of you in committed relationships, there's not a break there. Those committed relationships will maintain themselves, okay? Nine of Wands, Six of Wands reversed, and the Chariot. So the Chariot reversed, that's your card. Chariot reversed. Right now, you can't really push stuff through. You can't really force anything to happen. You can't force anyone else to do things that you know, want or need them to. It's just kind of out of your hands. When it's upright, yeah, definitely push through, charge forward. You're totally in control. Not so much. Okay? Here's that concept of self-love, self-worth. Look how much you have. You know, that was your burden, you know, over the past few years with Saturn, with Uranus and Aries, you know. I'm trying to think of my own Cancerian friends. I can only think of one, but his example is too extreme, I think. Probably not the best example to use. I mean, I'll use it. You know, he had twins. He was married and had twins. And one of the twins passed away after a year old. Was born very, very sick. And then he moved to Vegas, got an awesome job, started to really do well for himself, started dating this really great girl that he fell like so madly in love with, and then like 3 months into their relationship, he found out that another girl that he had been with was pregnant, had the baby, and it turned out it was his. So when he had to tell his current girlfriend, she broke up with him, and his whole like world just was like, it was like one thing after the next after the next. And I know that not everyone has this whole like super dramatic story, but I have watched him grow into the most amazing whole person who is now getting married to the cutest, funnest girl, and they're so happy. And like, there's just so many beautiful things going on in his life because he was forced to continually pick himself back up and to deal with his own internal demons. And he did. Not everyone is dealing well, you know, but now if he comes in contact with someone like that, he's going to be able to recognize it for what it is and stay away, because he's gone through that himself. And he knows that, you know, there's nothing you can really do to really help that. It's their own journey. It's their own thing. There's nothing you can really do. And if you were to try, it wouldn't be the most successful venture. You're continuing to pick yourself this month. You're continuing to put yourself at the forefront of your own life, choosing to continue to stay the course so that this Uranus and Taurus transit doesn't kick your butt. And you've built up so much self-love, and you have forgiven yourself for things, for mistakes, and you've forgiven other people for mistakes, and hopefully you're becoming more generous and more aware and conscious of the energy flow, right? So when you express gratitude, weirdly things come to you, right? Gratitude is like our best bank account. You know, if we ever need to fill it up a little bit, we just express gratitude. And you do have a lot to be grateful for. Let's see what else. High Priestess. There's a lot of keeping to yourself. Right now, I don't think you have to really be all outgoing, and you don't have to be, you know, Mr. or Mrs. Personality, you know. It is about quietness. This is a good card for Cancer, I think. It's being very much in tune with your intuition, you know, which you're known for. That's like one of your divine birthrights. It's the gift of a very fine-tuned and very loud intuition. The veil is very, very thin for Cancerians. Hermit mode, yeah, okay. We get it. You're still there. You haven't come out yet. And the Tower. I think that applies to this person. I'll clarify that in the comprehensive. But something is going to happen here, I think. It could just be words, you know, just an exchange where there is just all of a sudden a change in the relationship. The Mercury retrograde can really do that kind of stuff. You know, it easily changes the course because there's just no filter a lot of times. We just have to say what we need to say. And while diplomatic, and while I think it will end okay, it's still going to be a major shift. Okay. Yours was especially difficult for me. They have been lately just because there is a lot of intensity to them. But I'm going to go ahead and cut off the camera now. I'll be clarifying a lot of this stuff in the comprehensive, so hopefully I'll see you guys there. I'll put the link down below. All right, thanks so much. Bye-bye.